Hi, Paul Bedford here from Retention Guru, and in this short session, recorded originally back at the beginning of 2021, I talk about different types of surveys. And in fact, I'm not going to talk about the Net Promoter Score. I'm going to talk about another survey you should be using within your business on a regular basis. If you've got any questions or comments, drop them in the comments section down below. Alternatively, email me at paul@retentionguru.co.uk and I will get back to you just as soon as I can. For now, just enjoy the session. Then number 4, choosing surveys for voice of the customer. And I've said here, don't rely on a single tool for voice of the customer. I know that things like the Net Promoter Score are loved within this industry, and that's fine. I use it and I love it myself. However, I do think it has its limitations. I do think there are places within the business where it doesn't give me everything I need. It doesn't give me all the information I need. I'd also be wary, and I've mentioned this a lot of times on seminars and webinars, different people use it in different ways. They don't use the 0 to 10 scale, but some people only survey people who use in the club. Some people only survey 10 random people who've been in over the last month. Some people only run it twice a year. So when you're seeing other people's Net Promoter Score and you want to try and compare it, just be mindful they may not be delivering it in the same fashion. A lot of companies only deliver it online. And so when they don't get an online response, or they only get online responses, they don't try and tackle the gaps in the membership where people aren't responding. So just be mindful that this, like many other tools, is just a tool. It will help you. And you've got here a list of 7 different survey tools for voice of the customer. And the one I want to focus on here is CSAT. So a CSAT survey is a customer satisfaction score. And I'm going to give you an example. I've got a mock-up of one we've used with a few people. But if you assume that this is someone's journey through a club, there are different points in that journey. And I'm going to say this is in weeks, week 1, 2, 3, 3 to 8. And they only lasted 8 weeks. We should do better than that. But where would you put it? I'm not a fan of putting Net Promoter Score at the beginning of the journey. I know some people are doing it and they're going, oh, you've just joined. What's your Net Promoter Score? It's not where I'd put it. I'd put it further into the journey. Early on, I'd probably want to do customer satisfaction or frictionless buying process. I'd be measuring other things. But I'd certainly want to use CSAT. And CSAT looks like this. I'm sorry that's a little bit small to look at, but I think you'll get the gist of this as we go along. So I've just referred to this as the staff member was prepared for my visit. So really, if you think about this as an onboarding process, or perhaps if someone turning up for a sales presentation, and there's a number of questions here. They were prepared, they understood my concerns, they gave me as much information as I wanted, I could manage. The program given has helped me improve the quality of my life. I was able to schedule appointments at times suited me. The information I received was consistent. I do need to change this next one, and I'll point this out. The reception staff were friendly and helpful. That should actually be 2 questions. Because the reception staff could be friendly but not helpful, or they could be helpful but not friendly. So really that should be 2 questions, not 1. All things considered, I'm satisfied with the service, and then you get an opportunity there to put in additional comments and observations. But this is how it might look once it's filled out. Now, straight away, if you're looking across the top, you can see strongly agree to strongly disagree. What your eyes are drawn to is actually, well, what's going on with the disagree and the neutral? Well, the disagree, I was able to schedule appointments at a time that suited me. Now, if you're asking that question, you need to then be able to refer back and go, okay, what is our booking procedure? What is the way in which we are allowing people to book? Here in the UK, one of the things that a lot of businesses offer is what's called an exercise referral scheme, and it's done in conjunction with the health services. And the health services refer people to exercise within a club, and that's done for a period of time, usually 8, 10 or 12 weeks, in order to make them healthier through exercise rather than through drugs or drug commitment. So That's the exercise referral program. I was talking about appointment times. We're talking about appointment times. Now, one of the challenges is that a lot of the people who get referred are in work, but all the exercise referral programs are run during the day, as if you're so sick you can't go to work. So people are saying, well, I'd like to do the exercise referral program, but I can't because it's not on at a time of day that actually allows me to attend because I'll be at work at that time. So just looking at appointments might help you understand, actually, what is it we're offering and when are we offering it? Does our creche timetable align with our group exercise timetable? But this type of survey, satisfaction score, often allows you to get additional information that you wouldn't get if you asked the Net Promoter Score. How likely is it you are to recommend a friend or colleague to join this club? You're asking one question, you're asking about recommendation. The next time you're asking in the CSAT, you're saying how satisfied are you with these particular areas? So you're going to it in more detail. Now you don't have to use the same CSAT survey every single time at different points in your customer journey, or you could use different CSATs, or you could choose different groups of members to target with a slightly different questionnaire. But it's going to help you draw out information, but it gets the voice of the customer. And the better you understand what the challenges are for the customer, the more likely you are to be able to help them achieve the goals that they want to achieve. Now, when you look at this was a study done by my friend and colleague, Dr. Melvin Hilsden for TRP. And these were all the positive things that came out of surveying people. You know, one of the things that people were really positive about was actually completing a challenging workout. Now that suggests then that maybe we should be offering more challenging workouts or challenges that people have to work hard towards. When you look at what we refer to as discontent, there are things on this, the fitness staff and the reception staff ones at the bottom, that actually is not being spoken to. So maybe there's something there that needs to be addressed. But getting feedback will give you an opportunity to start to tackle some of the issues that will keep customers for longer. Now, it might not be possible, there's one on here, no parking spaces. It might not be possible to add parking spaces where you are, but one of the ways in which you deal with that is you make sure when someone's joined, once they've joined, you explain to them, one of the challenges we do have here is parking. Therefore, you need to be mindful of, you can't turn up 5 minutes before thinking you'll get a parking space. You have to plan that into your journey. So you're mitigating some of that negative experience after they've joined, but before they've experienced it. So at a time when they do turn up and there's limited parking, they understand that there's limiting parking, or they remember that and they turn up a bit earlier, so it gives them more time to get into the club and get to their class or to their activities they're planning to do.